Alright, so today we're going to be solving trig equations. From last week we're going to be using the same kind of philosophies that we were using. So let's start. Oh, and you're going to need your unit circle so we can look at some stuff with this. Okay, so part A is we're going to collecting like terms. So getting all your like terms together. So example 1, I have sine x plus root 2 equals negative sine x. Okay, so I'm going to collect all my signs together, so I'm going to move this sign to the other side. So to do that, I'm going to subtract. So minus sine x. So I'm left with root 2 equal to, this because there's one here, so this would be negative 2 sine x. Okay, so now I need to get sine by itself. So divide by negative 2. So I'm going to rearrange this and put sine x equals negative root 2 over 2. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to find out where in 0 to 2 pi, if you remember, that's the period of sine, is your sine value, root 2 over 2. So using your unit circle, sine value, negative root 2 over 2. If we look, 5 pi over 4 and 7 pi over 4. Okay, so every answer, if we keep going around 2 pi, then your answers would be 5 pi over 4 plus 2 pi n, because n can be any integer. So if we kept going around the circle, okay, or 7 pi over 4 plus 2 pi n. Okay, so this just means how many times, the n means, represents a number, but how many times you go around the circle. But it'll happen at each of those places, 5 pi over 4 and 7 pi over 4. Okay. So there's that one. Okay, part B would be if we're looking at square roots. Okay, so let's see this example. I have 3 tangent squared x minus 1 equals 0. Okay, so again, I'm solving for tangent. So I'm going to add 1 to both sides. So I get 3 tangent squared x equals 1. Okay, then keep going, divide by 3. So tangent squared x equals 1/3. Okay, and I still have tangent squared, so I'm going to take the square root. Okay, remember when you take the square root, it's plus or minus that. So where is tangent x? The positive and a minus. If we take the square root of 1, it's 1, and square root of 3 is just square root of 3. Okay, I'm going to leave it in this form because if you remember, this is y, this is x. Okay, so if you look at tangent, tangent is just between 0 and pi. Okay, if you remember, the period for tangent is 0 to pi. So if I look at my unit circle, I'm just going to be looking at the top half of the circle. So where is your y on the top 1 and your x on the top square root of 3? So if we look, that's going to be at pi over 6 and 5 pi over 6 because it can be positive or negative. Okay, so my final answers would be pi over 6 plus pi n. Remember, n can be anything, and because our period is pi, we're using those. Or 5 pi over 6 plus pi n. Okay, part C, factoring. So like we did last week, factoring still applies. So example 3, I have cotangent x cosine squared x equals 2 cotangent x. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get everything on one side so that I can factor. So I'm going to minus 2 cotangent x from both sides. Okay, so because these are multiplied together, they're not like terms, I can't combine them. So I'd have cotangent x cosine squared x minus 2 cotangent x equals 0. Okay, and looking here, both sides have cotangent in common, so I'm going to take out a cotangent, and I'm left with cosine squared x minus 2 equals 0. Okay, from here, you take each piece and set them equal to 0. So I'm going to have cotangent x equal to 0. I'm going to have cosine squared x minus 2 equal to 0. Okay, this one we should be able to do fairly simple. Where is cotangent is x over y. Okay, so where is your x value 0? In between pi or 0 and pi. Okay, that would be at pi over 2. Okay, that's the only place the x value is 0. Alright, then here we need to keep going. So I'm going to add 2 to both sides. So I have cosine squared x equals 2. Alright, then I have to take the square root. So remember it's plus or minus. So then I have cosine x equals plus or minus root 2. Okay, if we look at cosine, okay, then cosine is the x value, right? There's not an x value that should just root 2. Okay, so for this one, there's no solution. So my answer would be pi over 2 plus pi n, because your period for cotangent is pi. So there's your answer. Alright, your assignment is A6, page 396, numbers 8 through 15. Sorry, all. Okay, please let me know if you have any questions, and good luck.